Hey educators, I'm Javian Johnson with CreateMyStory2.com. I help educators just like you go from where you're at right now in the education system to where you truly should be. I've helped many people, from executives and companies to different types of various companies, to help them really empower themselves through all different types of approaches. I'm a master life coach and I empower individuals to transform. And today, I want to help you. I want to help you educators out there to really realize that you're in a toxic environment and you might not even be realizing it. So what's the importance of this topic today? The importance is that you are going to be equipped with really identifying where you're at right now. Because if you're not able to identify where you're at, you're just going to end up somewhere where you truly don't want to be. So imagine this for a second. You spend every single day showing up for others. You're constantly pouring into other people's cups, day in and day out. You are taking so much emotional toll on you through everything that you're doing. And guess what? It's not getting easier. Most places, especially in education, they're not hiring more people. They're actually looking to do it with less individuals. Think about your workload, and if you've been in it, think about your workload from 5 years ago, if you're able to go back that far, even a year ago. What type of weight were you carrying back then compared to now? Because you talk to any educator in the system today, they'll always tell you that the older days were the best days, the golden days in education. That's what's happening right now, is that you, in this position right now, you have more weight to carry than ever before. You have less time to do it in than you've normally had. And the expectations are even higher today than any other time. The issue here is that with all this going on, most of us in education, you have this idea of retirement, that everything's going to be great with retirement coming up. But do you really know what it's costing you? It's costing you your mental health, your physical well-being, your relationships, even that harsh reality of staying in here. You're literally deteriorating yourself right now because you're staying in a system that's not feeding you. You're giving everything without getting anything back. And let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, most people in education, they're not the healthiest. They're not making the healthiest choices with their body, with their words, and really filling their cups. So what I want to help you do today is really build awareness. Because once you build awareness, that's when things can really start to change. So let's start with how to really identify if you're in a toxic environment. I have a couple of points here that I'm going to use to really help you identify if you're in a toxic environment. And guess what? The majority of you are in a toxic environment. Are you constantly getting more negatives than positives? You're in an environment right now where you're constantly getting disrespected. You're getting disrespected by parents, you're getting disrespected by teachers, you're getting disrespected by the people that you work with. And guess what? Every time that you get disrespected, you need something positive to counterbalance that. Most times it's a 3-to-1 ratio. For every negative, you need at least 3 positives. In relationships, marriage, it's statistically found that for every negative that comes up, that other individual, your soulmate, your boo, whoever, you need at least 5 positives. If you're not getting that, then you're 85% likely to get a divorce rate. So imagine that, day in and day out. That's why when you get to these breaks, you're feeling just so drained. You're getting disrespected on all ends and you're not even realizing what that's doing to yourself. Number 2, are you always overloaded with unrealistic expectations? How many times do they say, oh, that's an experienced educator right there, they can take it on, give it to them? You have that tough student that's there, oh, they can handle it, they've done this student, this student, this student, they can deal with this. Or They're always good about getting things on time. We could always count on them. So let's give them this task. How often is that happening? Because I know it's happening with the majority of y'all, where you're getting extra work. And what do you think that's doing to yourself without you even realizing it? Number 3, do you have somebody that's truly listening to your concerns? Or are you bottling it all up in here? That's what a lot of educators do, is because of guilt. They don't want to speak up and say, you know what, this isn't right. You're so hell-bent to your duty that you're saying that, you know what, I'm an educator, I'm changing lives, that's all that matters. If I can sacrifice myself for everybody else, that's all that matters. But what do you think that's doing to yourself? How toxic is that, to be able to pour into others without nothing else pouring back into you? Without even being able to really release. Just think about a hose. When you stop up a hose, what happens eventually? That's why you're seeing a lot of these educators, you probably have heard of some, that are going to these mental hospitals, that are having nervous breakdown, that are going through depression, is because of these things. And number 4, do you dread going into work now? It used to be fun. It used to be a time where you say, you know what, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I got my gear on. I'm ready. I'm up early. Or do you truly dread it? Are you starting to get those negative dreams about going into work? And you know what I'm talking about. Those dreams where something is happening, where you're trying to anticipate something that's keeping you up at night. Everybody is out on Fridays and dreading Sunday nights. If you're experiencing that, you're going through this. If you resonated with any of those 4 that I gave you, then it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. This is where that self-awareness comes in. It's okay to say, you know what, I've been going through some stuff. I'm probably not in the best area right now. Because if you're not realizing this, it's going to have an impact on your health. And I'm going to unpack that for you. Let's look at your physical health. Being in a toxic environment, it's plaguing on your physical health right now. It's causing you chronic stress. It's causing you anxiety, depression, headaches, sleepless nights, even physical illnesses. A lot of educators out there have stomach issues and not even realizing why they're having stomach issues. And it's because this extra stress of being in this toxic environment. Let's think about your relationships. What has the education system done to your relationships? How many events have you missed because you had to go to work for something? You felt guilt that you had to be there, and if you weren't there, things were going to fall apart. How many times have you had to put work over the things and people that are most important in your life? And what has that caused? Are these people loving you even more? Or are they saying in the back of their heads, oh, that person, they're just going to choose work over me, so it doesn't even matter? What is it causing your future? Are you even thinking about your future? Let's look what's happening right now with people that retire in the education system. Let's take a very, very close look at their future. They get to these points where they're able to retire. Look at them physically first. Most of them, they don't look spry. They look beat up like they've been in a war. Then, on top of that, what's happening in society right now? Things aren't getting cheaper, ladies and gentlemen. They're not at all. Prices are raising. Healthcare is raising. Everything is raising. And you're going to tell me that your top years, you're going to get half of that, and that's going to sustain you? Then on top of that, with all your health issues that you'll probably have from being in this toxic environment, that's truly going to be sustaining you. You're going to be able to keep up with that. That's why you see most educators going back into the education system, either as subs or getting back into it full-time teaching, is because they're not able to sustain themselves. And that's the future that you want just for retirement. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck in there. I've helped out individuals be able to transition out of where they are into where they want to be. Educators just like yourself. And guess what? You're no different from them. The only thing that's different is they've had an individual that had the skills and knowledge to help them get to where they want to be at. You can have a life that's full of balance. You can have a life where you're getting a higher income with a better retirement plan, plus a pension on top of that. You can have a 401k. You can have all these things and rebuild your relationships in these roles. The thing that we do that's going to be able to help you, that's helped so many other individuals just like yourself, is we help you identify your unique skills and put them in a role that truly fits you. You'll see out there with the education system, with people, these programs and things saying that they can get you from where you're at. Not everybody wants to be an adjunct. Not everybody wants to be a trainer, consultant, or even knows how to be that. And so we look at your skills, what you're unique at. Look for positions that truly match those skills, companies that match those skills. We look at the individual and see where we can put you out there instead of giving you some false training and saying, hey, go out there and run with it. You have more to offer than you truly realize, and we help you with that. We help you tell the story of who you are, what skills you have in the education system that needs to be transferred out in the real world. We help you craft your resume, your LinkedIn profiles, and really use that information to help build a brand for yourself. Individuals just like you, you're a very, very skilled individual, but you don't realize how much skills you have, and that's what we help you do. And most importantly, we help with the legwork for the career transition. There's a lot of things that you're doing right now. If you've been trying to apply, and if you've been trying to apply, I guarantee you that you're getting the rejection letters. We help you bridge that gap. I want you to visit createmystory2.com. Again, createmystory2.com. I'll have the link in the description. And I want you to sign up for a diagnostic session where I get to look at you just like a doctor, look at everything that you have, everything that you've been doing, and come up with the best solutions for you in order to help you bridge this gap. But ladies and gentlemen, the decision at the end of the day is going to be yours. The ball is going to be in your court. Now you're able to identify that you've been in a toxic environment. If you stay there, it's all because you decided to be there. But if you want something better, we're the individuals that can help you get there. So I'll see you. And keep this in your heart. You know it's the right thing to do. You know exactly what you need to do. Don't stay stuck. I'll see you on the other side.